Imagine working 40 hours a week, every week, for 50 years, only to realize your paycheck was mathematically designed to keep you exactly where you are. You have been sold a lie. Society tells you to study hard, get a good job, and climb the corporate ladder. But if you look at the ultra-wealthy, you will notice a terrifying pattern. They do not have salaries. Thinking in salaries is like trying to fill a bathtub with a leaky bucket. Thinking in systems is like owning the water company. This is the great mental divide that separates the working class from the financial elite. Today, we will expose the hidden architecture of wealth. We will show you why relying on a paycheck is the most dangerous financial decision you can possibly make. Let us explore the unspoken rules of this game. A salary is simply a subscription to your survival. When you work for a wage, you are trading your most limited resource, time, for a currency that constantly loses value. This is not a modern accident. Historically, the mental divide between merchants and laborers was deliberately crafted. Laborers were paid just enough to return to work the next day. Today, your paycheck is heavily taxed before you even see it. Meanwhile, inflation acts as a hidden, regressive tax on your remaining purchasing power. You are taxed when you earn, taxed when you spend, and taxed when you save. A salary caps your upside, but leaves you exposed to all the downside. If you stop working, the money stops flowing. You do not own the machine. You are merely a replaceable cog spinning inside it. This structure guarantees you stay poor. So, how do the rich operate? They build and control systems. A system is an entity that generates cash flow independently of your physical labor. Think of it like planting an orchard. It takes immense effort to plant the seeds, water the soil, and protect the saplings. But once the trees mature, they bear fruit year after year, whether you are awake or asleep. The wealthy focus on acquiring income-producing assets. These can be automated businesses, real estate portfolios, intellectual property, or dividend-paying stocks. When you own a system, you detach your income from your time. You are no longer paid for the hours you work. Instead, you are paid for the value your system provides to the market. This fundamental shift in thinking is exactly what creates multi-generational wealth and true financial freedom. Systems work tirelessly. Humans simply cannot. The real turning point comes when you look at the law. The global tax code is entirely rigged against the salary earner. Governments tax typical employees directly at the source. The money is taken before you can even touch it. But systems are treated differently. Corporate entities and business owners are taxed on what is left over after expenses. The rich legally pass their lifestyle costs through their systems. They deduct expenses, depreciate assets, and reinvest profits tax-free. They use debt not to buy liabilities, but to acquire more cash-flowing systems. Debt is completely tax-free money. When you realize that the legal framework actively punishes hard labor while rewarding asset ownership, the illusion shatters. You understand that the middle class is financing the government, while the wealthy use the government's rules to multiply their own fortunes. This is brilliantly designed. This divide creates massive ripple effects across the economy. Consider the Cantillon Effect. When central banks print new money, it does not distribute evenly. The new capital flows first to the elite, who own financial systems, banks, and large assets. They get to spend this money before prices rise. By the time that money trickles down to your salary, inflation has already driven up the cost of housing, food, and energy. Your fixed paycheck loses its purchasing power. Those who rely on salaries are constantly playing a rigged game of catch-up. They demand small raises, while the owners of systems see their net worth explode overnight. The system owners absorb the newly printed wealth. The salary earners absorb the resulting inflation. This is why the gap between the rich and poor mathematically expands. It is an invisible daily time theft. To escape this trap, you must understand leverage. Salary earners only have 24 hours in a day. They can only work so hard. System builders use other people's time and other people's money. This is the ultimate form of leverage. If you build a software company, your code works for millions of people simultaneously. If you buy a rental property, your tenants pay down your mortgage while the asset appreciates. You have separated your physical effort from your financial reward. The rich do not work harder than you. They work smarter by constructing machines that compound value. They build networks, hire talented employees, and utilize technology to multiply their output. While the salary earner is exhausted trying to climb the corporate ladder, the system builder is busy owning the entire building where the ladder rests. Ownership is the ultimate key. Today, building systems has never been easier or more necessary. In the past, you needed massive capital to build a factory or buy land. Now, we live in the digital age. Code and media are permissionless leverage. You can write an algorithm, create a video, or design a product once, and it can be distributed globally at zero marginal cost. Your phone is a factory. Your laptop is a global distribution network. Yet, most people still use these powerful tools merely to consume content rather than to produce systems. The modern economy ruthlessly punishes those who only rely on a paycheck. Companies view salaries as liabilities to be minimized or automated by artificial intelligence. If your only source of income is tied to your physical presence, you are constantly at risk of being completely replaced. You must adapt immediately now. How do you transition from a salary mindset to a system mindset? It requires a brutal audit of your time and resources. Stop trading hours for dollars. Start trading hours to build assets. During your evenings and weekends, you must act like an architect. Instead of saving to buy consumer goods, deploy your capital to buy cash-flowing investments. Buy index funds. Start a side business. Invest in your own financial education. Every dollar you earn from your salary should be viewed as a soldier. Your goal is to send those soldiers onto the battlefield to capture more soldiers. A salary is not meant to make you wealthy. A salary is meant to generate the initial capital required to build or buy your first system. That is the secret the working class is rarely ever taught. You must fund your escape. The biggest hurdle is not intelligence, it is fear. Society programs us to crave the predictable comfort of a bi-weekly paycheck. Stepping away from that comfort feels terrifying. Building a system involves risk, failure, and delayed gratification. You might work for a year on a project and see absolutely zero financial return. Meanwhile, your peers are receiving steady promotions. This psychological warfare is why most people quit. They prefer the certainty of a mediocre salary over the volatility of potential wealth. But the rich understand that true security does not come from an employer. True security comes from owning the means of production. If your company goes bankrupt tomorrow, your salary vanishes instantly. But if you own a diversified portfolio of independent cash-flowing systems, you are immune to the whims of any single corporate boss. You control your own destiny. The uncomfortable truth is this: you will never become truly wealthy by renting out your time. Time is finite. If you continue to think in salaries, you will spend your entire life building someone else's system. You will trade your best years to buy their financial freedom. The shift starts in your mind. Stop seeing yourself as an employee. Start viewing yourself as a corporation of one. Your daily mission is to accumulate assets that pay you while you sleep. The system is designed to keep you working forever, but you have the power to break the cycle. Start building your machine today. If this video changed your perspective on money, hit the subscribe button right now. Leave a comment below telling us what system you plan to build first. Do not remain a replaceable cog. Control your own life.